Lab 7 users. It's Noah here. Today we're going to be checking out build 18 of Wealth Lab 7.
Nor, what are you doing here?
What?
Okay, come on, get on. Hey, before you go, come here. What stock should we buy next?
Apple, I don't know.
Apple? Okay, you heard it here. Apple. Hey everyone, Glitch here. Today we're going to talk about what's new in Wealth Lab 7 Build 18, catching up on these build highlight videos. So let's get started here. Build 18, we added a feature called Portfolio Sync. So you can see this here in Preferences. So if we go to Tools, Preferences, or the Preferences button here, we'll get you here. It is the second tab, Data Trading. And here in the upper right, we see Portfolio Sync. So Portfolio Sync is a mechanism where you can help Wealth Lab 7 synchronize with a actual brokerage account. And today we'll take a look at how that works with the built-in dummy broker that comes in Wealth Lab 7. So the dummy broker is available to everyone. It lets you paper trade, test out ideas. You may not know that here in the order manager, you see I have the dummy broker selected. I mean, it's one of several possible brokers that I have installed via extensions. But if I click configure here, you can actually set up any number of dummy accounts with the dummy broker and giving each one its own account value. So I set up 3 accounts. The first one has 100,000 value, the second 200,000, and the third one has $1 million value. If only it was this easy to set up accounts in real life, but here with the dummy broker, you can set up the accounts as you like for your own testing. So I think later on we'll probably be using this account 3 with the large balance. But let's go back to the Preferences tool here and see the options here under Portfolio Sync. So the first option, reduce the size of exit orders to match position quantity. Okay, so let's take a look at that in action here. I have my deterministic knife juggler, one of my strategies on wealthsignals.com. I'm running that on the NASDAQ 100. And let's first of all just run this here and see what we get. I'm using a fixed size of 20,000 here in the settings. Okay, so I ran that. Let's go to the signals. So we have a number of buys and then 2 sells. So let's see what happens if we select these signals and then stage the orders to the order manager. Okay, so I stage them now into the order manager. Here they are. You'll notice the cells have this little, kind of icon here. This is new. So it says Portfolio Sync could not find a position. So where is it looking for the positions? It's going to the accounts. So here we have the accounts tool. I have it actually open here. So in my accounts tool, right now I'm selecting only the dummy broker positions. So these are the positions that my dummy broker account 1 is currently holding. And you'll notice it doesn't have Siri and SGen, the 2 sell signals that were generated by my deterministic knife juggler. So therefore, Portfolio Sync correctly aired those out because it could not find a position. But what if we create a position? Let's go back to the order manager and let's buy a position in Siri. Let's say we're going to buy 100 shares of Siri at market. And even though the market is closed now, when I'm recording this, the dummy broker can still execute these simulated trades here. So here I have 100 shares of Siri filled. If I go back to my accounts, it's here in the position. So now let me remove this order block from Deterministic Knife Juggler. And I'll remove the manual order block too. We don't need to see that anymore. But if I go back to the strategy and run it again, and I select the new signals and stage them, so we see there's still these two symbols here. And for SGen, it still says portfolio sync could not find a position. But for Siri, it now says quantity reduced to sync with size of position. So it's no longer aired, it's now staged, but it reduced the quantity from 3252 down to 100 to match the position I have in my dummy broker account 1 of 100 shares. So that's how this first option works, reducing the size of exit orders to match the position quantity. So what if we turn on the second option? Always set the exit quantity to the full position quantity. Okay, well, that should come into play. For example, if I have a larger position in Siri, let's say I have 4,000 shares. So in order to get 4,000 shares, I'll go to my order manager and buy another 3,900 shares. Okay, so now I've bought another 3,900 shares. My position is now 4,000. So let's once again remove these blocks since we're no longer interested in them. Let's go back to our strategy, run it again. Select the signals and stage them. So now we see that the Siri sell order is now 4,000. So the quantity was adjusted to sync with the size of the position. So that's the second option. Now, if I had left this off and staged those signals, the sell would have remained at 3252, because it wasn't, this quantity was not above the size of my position, so it didn't have to reduce the size. But, because I now set this second option, it even increased the size of the exit to match with my position quantity. So these are the options. You can use them, however you best see fit. If you're trading a strategy with multiple positions, you probably want to leave it at the first option. But if you're only trading a strategy that always goes in and out completely with the symbol, you can comfortably set it to this option, so it'll always exit the full number of shares you have in your position. The final option here is use broker reported account value for percent of equity position sizing. So that's a lot of words, but let's dissect it here. Let's unpack what that means. So first of all, it only works when your position size is set to percent of equity. All right, so now I'm setting percent of equity 10%. So each trade will be allocated 10% of the capital. So if I run this again, I now have signals where the quantity here is resolving to 10% of the equity. So my simulated equity here is used to determine the quantities for these buy orders. If I turn on this option and then I run the strategy again, notice the quantities changed and they're much larger because now I have this strategy set up to run against account 3. So account 3 had the 1 million value in there, so that's why it's now using the account value of my dummy broker account 3 to determine the position size because it's a percent of equity. It's using the actual broker's position size. You can see if I change accounts now, go down to my account 2, the quantities reduce. If I go down even to account 1, they reduce again. So those are the 3 portfolio sync options. The other options we added, or the other features we added in Build 18 are a couple of new order types, OCO, one cancels other, and market on open. So these are down here in special order types, so you can enable them or disable them as you like. So market on open, if this is enabled and you place a market order, there's a certain window prior to the market open, and it's actually specified in the help. If you open the help here and search for this MOO, you'll get all the exact details. But if this is on, it will place those orders with the broker as market on open orders. The second option is one cancels other, and it's easy to kind of show how that works. Let's clear out these orders. So let's go to Syria again, and let's say we have a kind of a stop and a limit price that we're interested in. If Siri hits, like, say 590, we're going to buy it. Likewise, if it goes above 610, then we'll buy it on a buy stop. This can also apply to sell orders, but here we're just going to test it out on the buy side. So what I'm going to do is enter the 2 orders. First, a limit of 590, and I'm going to stage it. I'm not going to place it. The second is going to be a stop, and I'm going to buy at stop of, say, 610. I'm going to stage that. So now when I select both of these and place them together, you see that this little kind of chain here. So these 2 orders are now part of an OCO pair. That means that if one of them gets filled, the other one will get canceled. It's one cancels other. And WealthLab will submit these kind of orders whenever they're detected. It automatically detects them and submits them as OCO orders to your broker, like IB or TD support OCO orders. So this is now fully automated for you and implemented. So there we go. The major new features in Build 18, still getting caught up on these build highlight videos. So please stay tuned for more as the series continues. See you guys on the forum.